In the remote village of Mimi in Nagaland Kiphire district, an old art form is fighting to stay alive. Once a household practice where every woman knew how to shape clay into pots and other sculptures, today this art form has dwindled down to only a handful. Nuokho, a local potter, fondly recalls how she learned the age-old craft from her mother and mother-in-law as they molded clay into graceful earthen forms.
Laka ama itu pipi si tai pra bi phal bana thakisi aro amila mota laka ama bi itu tu pisi phal bra bana thakisi tai loko sike khina moi bi chanya laka manokhin pisi bra na jane na hole bi ami ke tu ईश्वर ब्रा आमा खंबरा की बनाया से ग्रैंडमदर खंबरा की बनाया से तू जानिया तू ईश्वर ब्रा ब्लेसिंग इकता दिसे को खना मोय तू भावना भी आसे खुशी भी पाए किले माने अलग सलग तू पैसा भी ना ताते ब्रा ही बच्चा खन तू बाली थाका ब्रा ना तू खुशी था.
For generations, pottery in Mimi has been a women's craft, passed on from mothers to daughters. Men did not shape the pots and were not encouraged to partake in any activity related to it. However, times are changing. Now they have a more vital role to play. They go deep into the forest to dig up the clay and soil.
Itu tu magi khembra hi bana bole laka samen bina hole bina for father khembra magi khembra hi tu bana aha laka hi asina wele itu tu ki itu moita khembra choile na hobo kwa bina hoy hole bina for father khembra ni magi khembra hi kuri khna ha bra hi na ase aro for father can be baba ama can be mota khambra bi mota kuri khna ise tu pokhya laka chaka tu pisi tur itu pathor saman ekta aro ki mati iklana itu ikta mili khanai kura bra pisi tur bra hi pokhi khna ha bra na mota kuri khna pokha tamte bi tai khambra mota kuribo aro itu khungtia tamte bi tai khambra mota kuribo inaga nature laka barya bra mota kuri khna ha.
Yeah, because of the barter system in the past, because
Pula ditu motahan elo thakanai tikerni kole magila chala samandu motahan na choi ina belief ko takshelibi ajikali du ini kurase khunda khande tahan motup kuro barena tahan ini drinks kole.
This is 30-year-old Nyojila Yimkhiung. She is among those who is learning the skill from her elders and fellow villagers. She believes that through their efforts, they will be able to keep the tradition alive and pass on to the younger generations.
Mohan practice kurasina idubi mohan jana manubra takhan bangstun arina mohan ke train kurina idu panala se haryana ajikali itu mohan pisi panasi galido market tv pathawole lana ina process stage la se ki karni to mimi la product tu ki ko local holebi matti du natural na jaka de pisi mile asena pa ase kwala to itu karni haribone na dina mukhan barbi break ajikal la generation bi hikai na ite takpi banai na aro kumba do pahar bi pathaina kumba do presentation bi kurena ina banai na mukhan bi ajikali use kurase.
The process starts in the forest, digging red and grey soil, grinding and filtering it into fine powder. It is then mixed with water and pounded with wooden tools until smooth. Once the mixture is ready, the women shape each pot by hand. No potter's wheel, no machines. The designs on the pots are inspired from old traditional tattoo designs, marks once worn by women of the Yimkhiung tribe as symbols of blessing and identity.
Itu yate na forefather kan yate bi kiba tatu na mari thakaro yate bi itu kan ekta aro forefather kan itu tatu itu ke haliana ke nakako itu maria laka tu maki kan bi itu na marile na itu sati kuri kan na jaili bi blessing nai ko abra itu ahi se dona itu laka nyambra ami kan laka design bi itu kan haliana.
After shaping, the pots are left to dry, sometimes for weeks, before putting them on fire. Here in Mimi, they use a traditional method that requires covering the pots with hay and sticks and lighting the fire from underneath. The process may be slow, but it prevents the pots from cracking. Once the process is complete, each pot is put to different use for storing rice, beans, corn, and even for smoking or drinking the traditional rice beer.
Local made drinks kanna.
These are not just household tools, they are family heirlooms handed down through generations.
From father time there, tahan ini drinks kule local made drinks kanna. Banana rakina, jadi kamu bare, aro itu tu, kita kan smoke kurala, jadi bi cinta banana se, jadi bi cinta ina kurina, tahan smoke kurina, for further time de kurina ahla itu se, aro itu tu flower pot, tinta branch banala, flower pot ina single banana dia se, lebih itu tu 3 branch banana, itu flower pot se.
Itu tu san phal hole na ek hafta bra san phal na hole kisi ek 2 hafta 3 hafta nisana hi sukhi kana na hole chula dum de tu pentuk maria nisana tai club biya ho jai to kisi diktar ase to.
Although potters like Nuokho and Nuokho feels that having learned the art form is a blessing, today that blessing is fading. There are only 5 to 6 elderly women in the village who are skilled in this art form, and the younger ones are still learning. That is when a local group, the International Border Area People's Welfare Organization, or IBAPWO, decided to act.
What if after they passed on, if we lose this practice or these skills to make the pottery products? So that's when we thought of doing something in order to preserve the pottery making culture that we have in our community. And on the other hand, we were also looking forward to explore more livelihood diversifications for the youths.
IBAPWO, with support from Roots to Branches Foundation, a non-profit organization, initiated a 3-day workshop in October, bringing together the last generation of potters and the next. 27 villagers, mostly young women, came to learn. Each pot they made carried 3 words, made in Mimi.
I think most of the traditions are getting lost, and all over the world, people are trying to preserve their culture. It's an identity that we don't want to lose. So that's one thing. So being the head of the organization, belonging from the community, I felt that there's a responsibility to preserve my culture and my identity. So that's one thing. And apart from that, we also wanted to explore and support the local people, the youths, the women's as well, to generate more diversified livelihood options.
For women of this village, pottery is more than craft. It is memory, identity, and hope for a small community that is determined not to let its traditions die. And if the younger generation continues what their elders began, Mimi's clay may yet carry its legacy into the future. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to EastMojo. For any queries, put them down in the comments section below and press on the bell icon for notifications.